You've journaled, meditated, and even gone to therapy. Yet those same loops keep on repeating. Same exact pattern. And you stuck here asking, what is going on? But what if I tell you that? Think for a second. What if those struggles weren't? What if you just start seeing them differently? What if they were just trying to teach you something deeper? Right? So let's talk about it because I'm here to tell you that those struggles, these annoying loops, they are actually part of your intentional design. What does that mean? Let's dive in. Here's what most people get wrong. The thing with self help is that listen, I also went through my self help phase. The problem is that it is very surface level and it's very one size fit all. And the thing is, it tends to treat the symptoms and not the root cause. And this is where your soul blueprint just goes right to the source and your own personal blueprint. Because the thing is, we don't all have the same sources. We don't all have the same core issues. We don't all have the same reasons. We don't have the same issues that we're battling with. We don't all have the same root cause. So that's why every person requires a very personalized approach in order to get out of these loops, right? And people blame themselves for being stuck and not healing fast enough. That's also another problem that I see a lot with my clients before they come and see me. But we don't realize that these recurring struggles, they're messengers. They're here not because life wants to make you miserable, and they're not random either. They're here because they usually have a root, deep, deep, deep root. That root is often, when it comes to, it's often related to pre-incarnation, as in pre-incarnation soul agreements. We're keeping this really grounded. I'm not making this woo woo, but it's just the fact, right? Before we come here, your soul designs this master plan. And what makes life challenging is because we forget. We don't know what's happening, right? And this is the occasion. This is the beautiful opportunity that a soul blueprint reading gives you, because you can kind of like go and peek in the back and just like see exactly the master plan, right? And that way you start making sense of whatever the hell is happening in the simulation called life. And those loops that we often get stuck in are also based on, like I already said, you know, karmic loop, like previous soul agreements that you've made with other souls before you came in this lifetime. We also have karmic patterns. You have energetic contracts, which is pretty much lessons that your soul chose to learn in this lifetime, right? Because your soul didn't just come here for like just for fun. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure our souls are also having fun, but the number one reason is to learn and to evolve through a certain series of challenges, and to really work on their blind spot. The same way we're doing self-help, and we're doing self-growth. We're doing like all the work here, shadow work, where your soul is kind of on the same mission on the spiritual level. And so why those struggles are built into your blueprint, that's just the way it was designed, right? Before all of us were born, our soul designed a kind of curriculum. I like that. I like that word. It's the perfect word for that. A curriculum for its own growth. That was the purpose of each reincarnation, pretty much. That includes major themes that your soul wants to work on in whichever lifetime they choose. Things as abandonment, power issues, self love issues, like a lot of things, kind of like working on those themes to get better at it, so they can work towards their like perfection. And the key life lessons, like it's to learn some major key life lessons, like learning to reinforce boundaries, learning to love yourself, learning to speak your own truth. It's fascinating once we start diving into the metaphysical world, and the soul level and the soul world, soul language. It's absolutely mind blowing. And a lot of time your soul contract, not a lot of time, always, your soul contract will have other agreements with other souls so that they can help one another, in their growth. So it's kind of like, listen, I'm going to play this role in this lifetime and you're going to play that role. And then I need you to play this role because I need to work on that thing. And at the same time, you know what I mean? It's just absolutely crazy. I know it's so, I'm talking about it's like, I'm talking about, yeah, let's just go buy bread at the bakery, like it's the most basic thing. But I know we as human, we can have a hard time wrapping our head around this crazy concept. But I promise you, the more you think about it, the more you give it a thought, the more you really dive into it, the less crazy it starts sounding. So, why do patterns repeat? Patterns repeat because the same struggle shows up until you're ready to face it, learn from it. It's pretty much the basis of how everything works in this world. No, it's like when you go to school, you have to go through the exam until you pass. If you fail a class, then you have to take the class again until you fail it again. If you fail like an assignment that your teacher gave you, you have to take that assignment again, or figure out some alternative thing, alternative assignment with your teacher, but you're not getting a free pass. You need to do the work again, apply yourself better so you can pass, so you can go to the next stage. That's pretty much how your soul is working in this life. So each cycle brings a deeper awareness and or healing. And your blueprint changes the narratives. Why I think blueprints are so important, because it allows us to get out of this victim mentality. Oh, what is happening to me? Why is this life so unfair? It allows you to stop, to get out of this victim mentality, and then help you rephrase things, help you reframe everything, as in, this is happening. What is the lesson here? What is my soul trying to make me understand, to make me learn? Where should I put my attention? What is my soul trying to teach me through this lesson? And I'm telling you, we're humans. We don't always do this perfectly. Sometimes we will fall into the whole like victim, consciousness, but just knowing this, the more you do it, the easier it gets, and it changes everything. It just makes life, you just take things a little less personal, and I personally find that it makes life a little smoother and so much better. You feel more in control, because you stop feeling so sad and sorry for yourself, and you can start being proactive. All right, okay, I know there's nothing random. I know it's not because the universe is trying to punish me. I know it's because the universe, there's a lesson that my soul is trying to, this challenge was scheduled so that my soul could learn a lesson, could learn XYZ lesson. Now, what is that XYZ that my soul wants me to learn? You know what I mean? And I find that life is so much better when you start approaching it that way. So this, it really empowers you, like I said, to move away from victimhood to like empowerment and self-mastery. And I think there's a lot of beauty in life, just gets so much better that way. So knowing your blueprints really help you gain emotional clarity, and like you can start understand, why am I attracting this relationship again? Why am I so stuck in those dead end jobs? What is the issue here? You stop resisting and start working with life, with the flow, with the with your soul better. And I feel like this is when things start flowing, and you start experiencing more synchronicities, because you going with the flow instead of fighting against the current. It's like you going swimming in the ocean. It's easier to go with the current than just like, well, depending on what you're trying to do, but like, instead of like going, if you're trying to go against it, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Because the current is so much stronger than you are. And that's why we also have specific technique to kind of like cut through. Okay, why am I talking about swimming so much? Anyways, you get my point. So the goal is transformation. That way, when you start seeing it like that, what is the lesson here for me? you start going with the flow better, and then transformation just becomes inevitable because you now understand that this is all part of a bigger picture. So your soul blueprint, it doesn't just explain your biggest struggles, it literally reveals why and how we know they're here and how you can evolve through them. And it will literally tell you if, something is, because sometimes we don't want to let things go. It can literally tell you that, listen, this relationship, you've outgrown it. I've had this happen in readings with past clients where literally we would get a download for the client to tell him that this soul contract is over. And literally it was that clear. This soul contract is over. It's completed. So you just beating a dead horse here. Oh gosh, why did this violent analogy came into my head? Anyways, why I'm thinking about that. Anyways, so it just, and in a way you can even turn it into like a beautiful game. Since we're all going to be here anyways, might as well make, it is what it is, might as well make the best out of the time here. So it really allows you to kind of get ownership, so you can turn life into, you can make life a little bit more fun and not take things so seriously. And like I said, every challenge is predetermined. It's a predetermined opportunity for your soul to grow, heal, and expand. This life is a classroom, and your soul chose the lessons that it wants, the exercises that it wants to go through, okay? So that it can learn and evolve. Absolutely wild stuff. I know. So a soul blueprint reading can really help you uncover so many things. By the way, that's exactly what I do with my clients. I help them uncover the original soul contract behind their struggles, because sometimes we're not meant to do life alone, to be honest with you. All of these tools are there to help you, and they can make a massive difference, and like, we need to use them. There's no shame in reaching out for help. So when my clients reach out to me, this is exactly what I help them do. We can go into the soul, have a soul blueprint to help them understand original soul contract behind some specific struggles they're going through. What was the point? What was the lesson? Like, get specific details and the karmic and energetic patterns that they're supposed to release through that lesson. Sometimes it's baggage that you're carrying from lifetimes, okay? And the lesson that your soul wants you to finally integrate so you can move forward to the next stage. So these are all beautiful things, beautiful doors that your soul blueprints can open up for you. And I want that for you, my love. So I leave all the links down below if that's something that is calling your soul right now. And definitely do check out the next. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm getting some yes. Yes. Anyways, when I make these videos, I literally get I'm channeling sometimes, and it's just it's crazy. Anyways, we're not gonna digress. So in the next video, we're gonna look into the powerful connection between your soul blueprint and your life purpose. This one is juicy. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you in that one.